There you go, AJ. Little Sierra Farrell on the show here. She got an incredible band behind her too. Very, very twangy, but I mean, she sings soulful stuff too. Very roots music. This girl has got such control of her voice. That's a good song. Good job, AJ. Southern Skies Dermatology, bringing you the show tonight, southernskiesdermatology.com. Speaking of years, man, when they catch up with you, the way it was described to me when I first started talking about skin cancer in Southern Skies is that the your body, your skin cells, as you know, replicate themselves over your life. So, and they make an exact copy of themselves, and then you move on and you shed the older cell. And it's like when we used to put paper on a copy machine, and you'd make a copy of a copy, and then another copy of a copy, and over time the copy would sort of fade and become less clear. That was a sort of an analogy of what happens with your skin cells. So as you get older and those cells are less rigorous, I guess, if there was ever damage, say you got a bad sunburn back in the day, and you just it peeled and you healed and you thought that was it, but the DNA damage that you could do back in those days travels with you after that. Your body's making a copy of that damage when it copies that cell, and then at some point, your body can't fight that damage off anymore, and it can turn into a type of skin cancer. Now, there are many types. Some are more dangerous than others, but clearly the one everybody's looking out for that we know the most about is melanoma, which has been a big part of our family's life with my mom's battle. By the way, I try to update y'all every time I do this spot when I bring her up. She's doing great. I just talked to her on the phone the other day. She's such a fierce person who's been through so much in this world, and she just laughing and being herself. It's always good to hear my mama laugh. But she had to fight with some newer technology. Hers traveled internally, and the theory is 20-something years ago, when it was first spotted on her knee, when the surgeons removed it, they didn't get it all, and then it traveled. And I didn't even know that could happen, so we learned the hard way. So the lesson in that is, one, you want to catch it early and you want to get it all. And because they have the Mohs procedure at Southern Skies, that's the micro layer where Dr. Mario will take out a tiny layer at a time. They go and check it. I don't know how they check it under a microscope or whatever. And they stop when they know they've gotten it. And then they know they can stop because they did get the tissue. In the past, they would just barbarically treat it, just cut out a whole area and hope they got it all. And if they didn't, they'd try to go back. But this minimizes all that, and it's less barbaric, and it's the way you want to have something removed. So another reason to go to Southern Skies. Highly trained folks, very smart. And because they're focused, this is all they do. They find it, they remove it, they're dialed in. It's southernskiesdermatology.com. Good locations all around town. I do think we're still on track to get that 280 location open this year. I'll tell y'all more about that when they're ready. I don't want people to get confused and start showing up if they're not ready to open the doors, but that's going to be great for their patients. Do yourself and somebody that loves you a favor and go get checked at southernskiesdermatology.com, southernskiesdermatology.com. Man, I was looking, this story suddenly got, no, this is a whole different deal. There's a story being reported this afternoon that $10 million of gold was just found hidden underneath a brewery. I don't know how they found it. They said somebody went into there underneath the thing. They think it was a plumber got called, and somebody had stashed some gold underneath this brewery. I'm trying to figure out where this happened. I think this was in the Midwest somewhere.
Maybe that guy who looked for that backhoe and uproot that tree.
Where the gold at?
Went to that brewery and said, "Where the gold at? I want to know where the gold at. I'm here for the gold."
I heard a national show today talking about, we had this story, and then it just disappeared, of the CIA agent that stashed all that gold. He had requisitioned from the CIA millions of dollars in gold bars, Rolexes, and all this stuff, and then they rolled up on him and busted him for getting this stuff. The presumption was that he just straight stole it from the agency. By the way, what the hell is the CIA doing, running around with gold bars, giving gold bars to people? I could see how in some undercover operation they'd be using gold for a transaction. Who knows? But so this guy got busted, and it turned out he faked his whole resume and still got a job with the CIA. This guy just pretended he went to schools he didn't go to, and said, one day he's just filling out the office form. It's like, is there anything we can give you from the supply room today? And he's like, yeah, I'll take $10 million worth of gold bars. And they just gave them to him.
Okay.
And he stored them at his house. Then they went and raided him, and then the case kind of went undercover. I think the CIA got embarrassed about it. They wanted the story to go away. Apparently, he was living in Maine at the time. It made me think when I was listening to the story, AJ, we would not be able to requisition anything of great value here in the radio business, especially as empty as this building is now, if we wanted to do such a thing. There's nothing for us to steal here.
No, none.
I mean,
none.
we could get Orlando we could requisition some stuff from the old prize closet when the music stations used to give prizes away. I'm sure there's some old CDs in there, some 80s bands.
Let me just be honest with you. There's nothing there.
Have you been in there? Have you?
Yes,
you know,
I've been in there. There's nothing in there. And if you do get in there, you're rummaging through stuff. You're like, is this from the 80s?
Dude, we used to have a station that was DX. Which frequency were they? They were on
107.7.
They were on 107.7, yeah. So, and they would do these live albums, and we had CDs for days in there of that stuff.
Yeah.
I think
I actually got a plaque.
Oh, with the thing?
Yeah.
I think Andrew stole all of it, didn't he? He's down the middle with that kind of music. Are there any old T-shirts in there? Old logo T-shirts or anything like that?
No.
It's all gone?
I'm surprised throughout the years of different like stations that used to be here and not here. I get it. You know, you don't want to have, but there's got to be like a way we could have like had some of the old logos.
We should put that stuff on
throughout
the walls.
the years. You know, just kind of show the birth of like where API used to be to where it is now. You know, and where ZRR was to where it is now.
Because we were the rock station forever.
Yeah.
And then program directors all over America killed music on the radio, and so here we are. And good for them. We stole the frequency. I had to go dig up a logo when I was in high school. My favorite radio station. Have I told this story on the air? You might even see me with this shirt on every now and then if I post it. But there's a radio station in Atlanta called 96 Rock. To this day, I think it's my favorite radio station ever. And it was my rock station growing up. I had to listen through static because I wasn't quite close enough to Atlanta, but they just played the best music. They even had a thing on Sunday night called the Peach Jam, because, Georgia. And they'd play just nothing but local bands, give them some airtime. And so their logo was so iconic. For some reason, people turned their logo upside down on the car tags. I even mounted one in my barn that way because I got an old retro tag. But somebody that used to work for them started selling their T-shirts again, and I ordered one. They were these 3/4 length baseball-looking shirts with their logo on the front of it. Coolest logo ever, man. There's such nostalgia attached with that stuff, like you said.
It is, and I love. Sometimes I just like going back and just seeing the history of different stations, like API, and it used to be a part of Auburn, and then it changed and transitioned here, and
exactly.
And you think about 107.7 it being the X, and then they flipped it to R&B, and there's so many different things that it does bring a lot of memories. It does.
Yeah, API stands for Alabama Polytechnic Institute, and it was the first radio station in Alabama. And that's what Auburn used to be called. And they started the station up here in Birmingham, up on this mountain. They actually own all this land over here, don't they?
I think
next door to us.
Probably.
Yeah, there's some cool history. There's actually somebody put a book out of Birmingham's radio history. Man, you know what? I'm going to make that the last hour of the show. Let's just talk about the industry for a while, because all that stuff's dead and gone. We were in a staff meeting the other day, and they were like, so let's do some new fun projects this year. We were coming up with ideas about things. And I told them, I said, dude, we got to get a helicopter and throw live turkeys out of it. There's no harm in it. There's nothing we can lose at this point in radio.
Right.
Let's do the WKRP thing.
Yeah. Let's bring that back.
There's a reason that show was a hit, man.
Yep.
And it wasn't just Lonnie Anderson's boobs. It was a good show. All of them are dead now, aren't they? Aren't most of those actors? The guy that played Venus is not dead.
No, and then the brother is not dead. What's his name? I can't think of who.
Johnny Fever. I think Johnny Fever's dead. Who would you be if we were WKRP? Who would you be, AJ? Which character?
That's a good question.
You can't automatically get Venus Flytrap.
I'm trying to think who
I'm not letting you have the black guy just because we're not doing that. We're not playing that game.
Oh God, give me a moment. I'll figure that out.
I've probably worked with every character in that show though over the years. I don't know who I would be either.
Tim Reed is still alive. That's what I was
Is he
thinking about.
he was the sports guy, right?
Yeah, no, he was Venus Flytrap.
That
Yeah.
was Venus Flytrap.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's still alive. Yeah.
Yeah, he's still alive.
I think we've had this discussion in the past. Yeah, people had some nostalgic memories of the old stations back in the day, and for people my age, it'll stay with you for life, no doubt. All right, back in a minute.